if someone's just getting started on their like content creator journey and they want to start really thinking about their brands, like what would you recommend for them to do early on?
Gotcha. So I would have a little bit of consistency in terms of like, especially if you're a creator, your face is essentially your brand, right? So whatever
Hmm.
else you add on top of that, I would just add a little bit of consistency so you're a little bit more recognizable, right? So for at one point for me it was some glasses, right, or a black T-shirt or something that has like a little bit of continuity so that the next time you pop up, it's easy to recognize you in terms of branding and stuff.
I'm glad you pointed that out because this is something that I often go back and forth between. It's like, should I try to make my background consistent so that people see me and then they recognize it and they get used to it? Or go the complete opposite and like, should I try to change everything every time so I'm like keeping people on their toes? But it sounds like from a branding standpoint, it might be better to be a little bit more consistent with the background, right?
Well, to touch on what you just said, both of those could be consistent in their own way, right? If you were to
Mhm.
constantly change your background, then you would brand yourself as that person that's constantly changing, reinventing themselves, right? As opposed to if you stayed with a consistent backdrop, right? That would identify you as, you see those colors, you see the canvas in the back, like, right? That sort of identifies you as Mike Rama.
Oh, I see. That's a really good point to that. Um, I guess too for me, it's just a matter of what I have around me. So, for example, the past year almost, I've just been jumping around from Airbnb to Airbnb. So it would be impossible for me to have a consistent background. So that just kind of became nature, right? It's just like
Hmm.
wherever I am, that's where I'm filming. I hope to be in this spot for at least 3, 4, 5, 6 months. Who knows? We'll see. So yeah, I think I'm going to start going with a little bit more consistency in the background, but then still showing a little bit of that like travel lifestyle. Like I do a ton of like weekend trips. I think that stuff is important for my personal brand to continue to include on TikTok.
Right. And then to add to that, one of the things that you can also include in sort of like a consistent format is the style of video you provide, right? The way you create your videos that can also add to your branding, right? There's a creator, I think his name is Frank Michael Smith. I think he does like sports and pop culture stuff. And his editing, right? He's never wearing the same clothing, but his editing is always sort of similar, sort of same color schemes, that it's very recognizable, right? So it can go beyond just like what's in the video, but it also like how you produce the video.
Right. And I do notice that with a lot of creators. So you'll pick up on like, oh, this font that they use every time in their editing or like this style. That's such a great point.